welcome back. We're here with Claressa Shields, pro boxer here, 6-0, 78-1 amateur record. She won the gold medal at the Summer Olympics in Rio, multiple middleweight and super middleweight titles. I don't have time to name them all. It's so many. She is the current IBF WBA champion, middleweight champion, and she is going up against Hannah Rankin on November 17th for the vacant WBC, along with defending her 2 belts. Miss Shields, how are you?
I'm fine.
Doing all right. Well, great. Look, thank you so much, first and foremost, for taking some time out and kind of talking to us. We're super stoked to have you on, and I know I speak for the both of us, and we're really happy to have you on, and we're stoked to see the fight between you and Hannah. We are pumped. I know you're pumped. I guess talk about how did this fight come about with Hannah, and what's your training like going into this?
Well, just to rewind, I've been training for November 17th since mid-August. I was supposed to be getting ready to fight against Christina Hammer. It was supposed to be a unification bout for all 4 titles, and somehow she ended up getting sick, and our fight got postponed. With our fight being postponed, just because she's sick doesn't mean that I'm sick. So I still wanted to fight, and she didn't make it known that she was sick till maybe 6 weeks out from the fight, or maybe even 5. So it was pretty hard to find me an opponent. And I think we probably had like maybe 4 or 3 options, and I think maybe all 3 or 4 fell through.
Wow.
And so with that, I was supposed to fight Femke Hermans, but she said she couldn't make 160 within the time that we were giving her. So we were really all out of options, because I don't fight anybody who hasn't fought for a war title, who isn't a world champion or former world champion. So out of those 3, I kind of felt like we had striked out, and then we knew that Hannah Rankin had a fight coming up, and Hannah Rankin decided to cancel her fight to take the challenge with me.
So I guess, is your training preparation any different for Hannah than it was for Christine, or is it just kind of business as usual?
Always business. I train my hardest for every fighter, and that's why I go out and perform the way that I do. I don't go out there and perform like, oh, I'm fighting a girl who never won a world title, so I'm gonna train like this, or I'm fighting a girl who's 5-2 compared to a girl that's 24-0. I go out there and train for them all the same. I go on there and try to get the best Claressa Shields that I can get out of me, and then once the fight comes, I just give my best performance.
Is the plan to still unify with Christine Hammer once the time, I guess, is correct for her and you?
The time is always right for me. I know. If she wanted to come back, and say, hey, I want to fight before the year is out and fight you, I would be ready. But yes, hopefully a unification bout does happen. I really can't say that I'm like super sure about it. I know that we have signature signed, we got paper signed, but her illness has come to kind of has shooken everything up, and now that she's been stripped for her WBC, and I'll be fighting for that, I'll have 3 titles and she'll have 1. So I would love to fight her, but it's really like it's all about if she can say she want to fight me and everything, but it's about her showing up and actually doing it.
This is true. So I know you said Hannah had canceled her fight, and you train the hardest for everybody. You don't gauge by their record or what they are, because every fight's a title fight for you. I know you've probably watched tape and know about her. What threats do you see, if any? Because every fighter, everybody does something good, better than other things. What are you most worried about coming out of Hannah and her camp?
I really can't say I'm worried about anything. I mean, I can say that I think overall she's strong and she's tough, and being at the level that I'm at, everybody is strong and tough.
Right.
So it's about I think she lacks skill. I think she lacks discipline, and I think she lacks boxing IQ. Just being able to, be on that world stage, and being on that world stage and actually performing. Like, you know, I think that right now I think she's jumping too far because it's like she's like, oh, you know, I'm Christina Hammer's sparring partner, and you know, I fought against Alicia Napoleon and lost a unanimous decision, and I'm WBC silver champion. And I think that she's missing the point is that she didn't have a large amateur background, and now that she's pro, she's already 5-2. So, you know, I respect her. She got all the heart in the world. You know, it just takes time to get to certain levels, and I think that she's trying to, you know, skip the hard parts. You know, she don't want to go through the parts of learning how to establish the jab or learning head movement. You know, she just wants to say, oh, as long as I'm tough, I can get these girls a run for their money, and I'll come out on top. But you know, when you're in there with a girl who's tough and just as strong as you, I'm faster than her, and I know that my IQ is definitely higher, and I've been to 2 Olympics, and not only been to 2 Olympics, I won 2 Olympics. I think that she's in over her head, but I respect her heart 100%.
Real quick, since you talked about the Olympics, what's more of a wow moment? All the belts you've acquired or winning a gold medal? Because most people don't know or ever get to talk to somebody who won a gold medal in the Olympics.
I think the wow moment for me was winning my 2nd Olympic gold medal, because there's not another American who's won 2 Olympic gold medals in boxing. I'm the only one. And it was like, as I was getting ready to, you know, to go after my 2nd Olympic gold medal, it was like, it was kind of impossible. Everybody was saying, oh, she might get silver, she might get bronze, it's going to be harder for her to win another Olympic gold medal. And I kept telling everybody it's going to be easier. And people kept saying, why do I say that? I'm like, because I'm faster now, I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm way bigger.
You've already done it once.
Right, so I've already been here. And, you know, I had won 2 world championships prior, you know, to going into the Olympics. So I was already, you know, confident. I already knew the girls I was going to be fighting against. You know, and none of them posed a threat to me. And I knew how smart I was. I knew that I could fight. You know, I can fight over 15 different ways. You know, it just depends on how I got to get the win. Some fights I'll go out there and brawl it out. Some I'll go out there and box it out. But I just do whatever I have to do to win.
That comes with the fight IQ, though. You make adjustments as you go through and
absolutely
fix it on the fly.
You know, if I could just kind of take a sidebar here, I'm really interested in your answer on this. I heard you kind of talk about it before. You talked about a huge discrepancy with you know, female boxing pay, and how that it hasn't quite caught up to like MMA, the female MMA fighters pay. I guess could you kind of maybe elaborate on that, and what are your thoughts, and maybe why it's like that?
I think they should be even.
Yeah, I definitely think that the women boxers possess more skills when it comes to the combat sport, you know, especially inside of boxing, and that we put more time into it than the girls do in MMA. But I just feel like over in MMA, the promoters have put money into the women. They have put them on, you know, pay-per-view cards. Yeah. You know, there's no reason why I shouldn't be the undercard of Deontay Wilder Fury. You know, to me, it doesn't even, you know, to me it's like that, like that's a no-brainer. Yeah. You know, if you want to get the best promotion for me, and you want everybody to, you know, me to gain new fans, and me to grasp the attention of the heavyweight fans, because that's the biggest weight class right now, you know, to me that would be the best move. But it's like the, you know, the networks and promoters, everybody have to be on the same page. So so my promoter wanted me to be on the undercard of the to actually be the co-main event to the Deontay Wilder and Fury fight, in you know, in a possible Christina Hammer clash, but it didn't play out that way, and also the network didn't want it, you know. So you know, just with that, it's about people actually getting behind it and putting some faith in us, you know, like, okay, yes, you put the faith in me to have me fight the main event, you know, on Showtime, but now it's levels and it's steps, you know. And Deontay Wilder didn't fight the main event on Showtime forever, you know. Now he's fighting pay-per-view against another, you know, star, as in Tyson Fury. And you know, just got to put that same kind of support in women.
Yeah, 100%. I guess you know, while we're talking about MMA, you know, we've seen you trained with Cyborg, and I guess kind of help her out with her boxing. I guess are there any plans to train with her again? Was it kind of like a one-off situation, or are you guys buddies, or I guess how is that relationship with her?
Cris is my friend, and we actually are really good friends. We stay in contact. I, share her stuff on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever she asks me to share, or she share whatever I ask her to share. We only trained together just that one time, but we were supposed to get together again, but times and everything, getting away and different kind of fights and everything. So, she's had fights, happen and fights canceled and fights pushed back, and I've had the same thing. So we haven't been able to actually, meet up and get any work in together. But I think in the future we will be still training together and things like that.
That's a good sparring partner. I wouldn't spar with her, or you for that matter.
It was fun.
You have to be the right kind of person to say that's fun.
No, it was fun because I don't think people can understand. It's like okay, so I get to the gym, right? She called me while I'm in Vegas. This is after I win my world title fight. And she's like, hey, you're in Vegas, I'll fly you to LA. Can you come spar with me? Now, mind you, I don't have my coach. I don't got my boxing gear. All I got is like some clothes, right? And I'm like, sure, why not? Because I didn't really have anything else to do with my time. Yeah. So I flew her to LA, and she got me a hotel maybe down the street from her house. I even chilled at her house, played with her little tiger cat and everything. Wow. And then we did interviews, and then once we got to the gym, it was this awkward moment of silence because over the phone she kept saying, oh, we don't have to spar if you don't want to spar, and we can do this and we can do that. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, if you're the baddest woman in MMA and I'm the baddest woman in boxing, I think we're going to spar.
Yeah, there you go. Right?
And so we get in the ring, and her coach asked me how many rounds you want to go. I'm like, psh, I'm in shape for 8 to 10 rounds, whatever y'all want to go. Yeah. And I could just tell that the vibe in the room was Cyborg kicks people ass, right? I could just tell, like, cause they were like, how many rounds you want to go? Like, they were being like super fragile with me, and I'm like, look, hey, whatever y'all want to go, we can go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm built for this, right? So first round we get in there, and I'm filling Cris out, and I could tell off bat that she was strong and she was fast, but it was like, I'm the boxer, right? So we get the boxing and stuff, and I, and my jab is like my right hand, right? And the MMA, the jab is like a flick, So she was flicking with her jab, and I was moving my head. But when I hit her with my jab, it was pretty hard. And, we just started going back and forth. And then when we got into an exchange, and she hit me and I hit her, and she seen I didn't back down, everybody was like, ooh, this is good, right? So then we continued to spar and spar and spar. And we actually went 4 rounds. I don't know which clip she put up. I had let her make the highlight video and everything because she's good at that stuff. Because I really, whatever. Yeah. But it just showed that, up in sparring, if she could be a good boxer. She could be a good boxer, but I'm definitely the more experienced boxer. It'd be just the same if we were in there doing MMA. She would be the more experienced in MMA. But since we had on the boxing gloves, even after, I think her boyfriend was like, you know what? That was something I've never experienced before. And I was like, what? He's like, I've never experienced anyone hang with Cris Cyborg, like not even a man. He said this is something that she's excited about and she didn't even know existed. I said, well, welcome to Claressa Shields' world.
Here I am. Here I am.
You know what? Right. And that's exactly what the clips portrayed. Like you said, obviously, if it was in her world, maybe it might be a little different. But you are the experienced boxer, so obviously, you're the A side in that situation, right? Because you are the experienced boxer, and that's exactly what that showed. Do you think you made a very good point in the MMA world? Like you said, the jab is more like a flick, and they almost use it. It's almost like setup. They really don't. They really don't utilize the jab, and it really seems a lot of boxing enthusiasts has always make comments about the jab and how MMA fighters don't utilize it like they should.
As to where your jab could knock somebody down,
right?
Instead of set somebody up.
She definitely learned. As the rounds went on, her coach, I believe his name was Jason, he told her, use the jab how she's using the jab, because if like someone doesn't pose a threat with a punch, you're not worried about that punch. So I wasn't worried about her jab, and I wasn't worried about her hook. She had a good right hand. Her right hand was solid, but she didn't know how to follow up with it with the hook, especially if I move back or I step over to the side or something. And it was like it's just way different. It's just way different. But I could tell you she's definitely a quick learner, and everything I told her, I could definitely see that she utilized in her next fight when I seen her box.
That's the one rare instance where she has a sparring partner, because usually I would bet that people don't even want to spar with her, because in the world of MMA, she's a killer. We know this.
Yep.
But now they brought in somebody that's you're at that level, but in boxing, so it's a good thing. She probably was like, "Oh my God, somebody that can fight me! This is the best thing ever."
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely saw the videos. It was cool to watch.
Yeah, iron sharpens iron is what I always say.
This is true.
So obviously, and she's got a big fight coming up too with Amanda Nunes in December.
I know.
So it's going to be a huge fight. I can't wait, and we can't wait for your fight either. It's going to be a good one, and we're going to be talking. So we're going to be talking to Hannah a little bit later on, and we were curious if you had any words for her or anything maybe you wanted to pass along that we could pass along to her.
Well, Hannah says that she's not a trash talker and this and that, but she's talking trash though. I really don't understand why people do that. It's like, listen, you don't have to say that you're not a trash talker and then talk trash. Like, everybody knows that I'm a trash talker and I'm a trash backer-upper. So whatever, And she's like, oh, I don't talk trash, but Claressa Shields, she's no T-Rex. I don't know why that's even her nickname. She can't punch. She can't this. She can't that. But then she ends it by saying, the fight is going to be a war. Tell her that I want her to say she's going to beat me. Forget saying it's going to be a war and it's going to be a great fight. I want you to say to my face the same way that I'm saying to you, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to win. I'm going to knock you out. Where is that confidence at? Because I'm not getting that confidence from her. Because everybody talking about, oh, it's going to be a war and this is great for women's boxing. Anything is great for women's boxing.
Yeah.
Okay? A good fight is great for women's boxing. A knockout is great for women's boxing. A 10-round competitive fight is great for women's boxing. But stop just trying to make it seem like, oh, she's just basically saying, what she's saying to me is she's tough. I may not be able to knock her out, and she's going to lose, but it's going to be a tough fight. And she's in for a rude awakening because I'm going to knock her out. I'm going to beat her up. I'm going to hurt her. And she's definitely going to learn something from the fight to help her in the future. And she's going to learn that it's levels to this. And you're not on Claressa T-Rex Shields level.
Well, if there was any question as to the thought, there it is. She put it out there.
So I guess a specific prediction. Do you have a round in mind, or?
I'm gonna let it be a surprise. I'm working on so much stuff for this camp.
I got you.
Like surprises.
It don't really matter what round the knockout come in. Just know she's not built to last 10 rounds with me. She's tough, but when it comes to professional boxing and being a world champion, and when we're talking about undisputed and being the greatest woman of all time,
yeah,
it's not about just being tough, because when you get to a certain level, everybody is tough.
Right.
Everybody is confident.
Right.
When you get to a certain level, but it's like, what are your skills?
Right.
What is your mind like?
Right.
And heart is a big part, but it's still not everything. She needs to learn that balance. And right now she's coming in with all heart and toughness. And it's like, okay, but what are you going to do once that's gone?
Right.
Because 10 rounds in the fight, trust me, it can leave. So what are you going to do after that? So, just with her, I know that she's fully prepared for the fight. She's been training for another fighter while I was training for another fighter, and now we have to get ready for each other. I just wish us both the best, and that God protect us in the ring. But one of us has to be a winner, and one of us has to be a loser.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be a loser. So that's just that.
Well, couldn't have said it better ourselves.
Tell Hannah, say something that's gonna make me mad, piss me off. Say something.
Well,
Please.
I guess we'll have her response, when we talk to her. So I guess look for that when we, like I said, we're gonna be talking to her a little bit later. But
I wish it was a 4-way, because I'd tell her, I'd let her talk and everything.
Oh boy.
I just really, face to face, she was all, whatever.
I tell you this, I wish the schedules worked out. We could have done that, but everybody, she's off training. I think she's training in Switzerland or something like that. Nick,
yeah, enjoy that. After I beat her, I want to fight her sparring partner.
Oh wow!
Look at that. She's got fights lined up. We're all good.
Yeah.
So
Give me her sparring partner next.
Well, Claressa, we thank you so much for your time. We don't want to take up too much more of it. We know you're tough, hard at work there and training, and I'm sure you got a busy day planned. And we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And
thanks a lot, champ. Guys,
check it out. Claressa Shields, Hannah Rankin, November 17th. Don't miss it. Mark your calendars. And good luck to you, champ.
Live on DAZN.
Take care.
That's it.
Peace
All right,
out.
everybody. Have a good one.